And it's going down right now. And it's going down right now. It's the daily, go get mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it ain't when it whiz? Yo, we are here and we are in motion. We do this left lane ticket off no coasting. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling tonight? Pretty Petty Tuesday all up in your area. How you feeling now? Ow. Yeah, it's going down, y'all. And it's the daily go get mism show. And tonight on the daily go get mism show, we are talking about how it's not real to you until it happens to you. You know, some things are just not real to some people until it happens directly to them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't real. It just doesn't happen in this world until it happens directly to you. And I don't really understand this, but we're going to try to get it down. You know how some people can't be sympathetic, some people can't be empathetic, some people just can't seem to relate to a situation until it's mushed right there in their face, until it's right there in their face, and there's nothing they can do to ignore it or sweep it to the side or act like it doesn't exist, but it does exist, and we're going to see about it. Yes, and it's going to be y'all right. Yeah, you know it's going to be y'all right. Think it won't. So it's not real to you until it happens to you. So, you know, to some people, bad health, an accident is not a real thing until it happens to them. That's my word. To some people, getting their heart broke is not real until it happens to them. Yeah, you know how some people be like, man, I don't get stressed out, you know, or be all messed up over no woman or no man, but they never been in that deep into that level of depth of love. And then when it happens to them, their whole world starts to cave in. Now they want everybody to cater to them. Oh, but it wasn't real. It wasn't real to you before. Oh, shit. Daily Go Get a Mission Show. Let's talk about it tonight. So what's going on? Emily Dunlap is in the house. Good to see you coming out. And we about to show out. You know what I'm talking about. Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita. Thanks for coming out. How y'all feeling? Yo, let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily, the daily go get 'em is a show. We do this every single day. It rains. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R's. The daily go get it. Some show all up in your area. And tonight on this Pretty Petty Tuesday, the 18th, the 18th of Leo, 18th of August. And we are talking about when it's not real to you until it happens to you. When it's not real to you until it happens to you. So tonight on the Daily Go Get 'Em Business Show, we're going to be talking about how certain people don't seem to be able to relate to other people's situations until that situation is staring them right in the face. Y'all probably all know somebody like this, somebody that's always talking shit about what somebody else is going through and how they should handle it and what they should do and what it really is and how it should be. Until it happens to them. And then it's like, why does it have to happen to me? Oh, woe is me. Oh, woe is me. Yeah. Speaking of that, woe is me thing, you know how some people seem to be able to coast through certain situations, seem to be able to coast through life. You know, it seems like they never have any bad luck. They never have any bad fortune. They never have any adversity that you are able to witness, or at least that they will express to you or let you be able to bear witness to. But they are quick to speak on certain situations. They are quick to tell you about certain situations that are going on with other people and how they should do this and they should do that. And they're giving out all kinds of advice and talking about what they would do if it ever happened to them. But as soon as it happens to them, oh my God, the sky is falling. You know what I'm saying? The sky is falling, little chicken little. The sky is falling, and they want everybody and expect everybody to be sympathetic to their situation now that it has happened to them, and now they can see everything clearly, crystal clear. What's going on? My brother from another mother, Norris Hill. I said my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Yo, tell me how you feel. What's the deal? Thanks for coming on through. And it's always a thrill. And my girl S Cook, it's always a good look. Thanks for coming through, no doubt. And my brother Ansel Jones is in the house. My brother Ansel Jones is all up in the house. How you feeling, yo? T. Carey Wright is always making things right. Thanks for coming through on tonight. No doubt. Narsil says having sex with impunity. Uh-oh. And Valerie Green. Miss Green is all up in the house. How y'all feeling? Miss Green, is always good to see you on the scene. Thanks for coming through. Having sex with impunity. Yeah. Yeah, but like I was saying, a lot of times people either can't relate to other people's situations or they choose not to sympathize. Some of us run around here with this hero complex or this larger than life complex. Like, well, even if it happened to me, it wouldn't be no big deal because I would handle it like this. I would handle it like that. Now, let's take a first example. Let's take getting your heart broken. There are plenty of people out here who don't really think or haven't really experienced what it's like to get their heart broken. So they quick to talk about what they would do or how they would handle a situation if they ever got their heart broken, because they don't understand how come such and such seems to be so down in the dump and how such and such should be able to get over a relationship. Like in this amount of time and that amount of time, that should be enough time to get past something. If not, then you must be clinical. There must be something seriously wrong with you. Oh, really? So there's a time limit on healing. There's a time limit. Have any of y'all ever had a broken bone? You ever broke a bone, a leg, an arm, a shoulder, a rib, something like that, jaw, whatever. You know that if you've ever broken a bone, especially as a full-grown adult and not a young adult, not somebody that's in their 20s or early 30s, if you've ever broken a bone in your 40s or 50s or whatever, they say that it takes 6 to 8 weeks for a broken bone to repair. Here's what they don't tell you. It's still going to hurt after that. So the bone itself may be repaired after 8 weeks. It's not going to repair in 6 weeks. It's not. But after 8 weeks, it'll probably be in a lot better shape than it was when it got broken. But it's not fully repaired. And it still has to adjust. Your body still has to adjust to how the bone is coming back into its pre-existing condition. It may never get back the way it was. If you break your leg, you're never, as a full-grown adult, if you break your leg or your hip or something like that, you're going to walk with a limp. You're not going to walk the same or operate the same as you did when you broke the bone, especially right away. It's going to take way more than 6 to 8 weeks. But we hear 6 to 8 weeks and we think, okay, so in 2 months, no later than 3 months, I should be right back to the way I was. Well, no, it does not work that way. Because when you break a bone, you also damage the tissue around the bone. And that has to repair too. And that may not repair in 6 to 8 weeks. Things like that. So you may experience pain, discomfort, and limited range of motion. And when you move a certain type of way that you used to be able to move freely, it just doesn't work out that way. So we know that 6 to 8 weeks is not enough time for you to fully recover from a broken bone. Now you start talking about an emotional circumstance, an emotional wound where there is no tissue, there is no bone that you can point to, treat, put a shot in, put a cast on. You're talking about your feelings. You understand what I'm saying? When you talk about when you have given your heart to somebody, when you talk about when your feelings have been deep into somebody, when you talk about how your future was all arranged to be with somebody, and now that whole future has come to to a point where it has to be rearranged, restructured, torn down, rebuilt. And you ain't ready for all of that. So imagine what it's like for somebody to come along and tell you how it's supposed to be, how long it should take you in order to get over somebody. Well, I mean, they were seeing each other and all of that, but they wasn't with each other all that long. Well, how long was they together? They was together for a couple of years. So why would you think that if you've come to depend on somebody over a couple of years, why would you think that it should only take them 6 months to recover from that dependence? Well, I'm saying though, but they still crying, they still talking about it, they just getting on your nerves, getting on my nerves with all of that. Like, let it go. That person ain't thinking about them. See, no empathy, no sympathy, no relatability to somebody else's condition. And then what happens to you? And I'm not saying that this is karma, and I'm not saying that this is guaranteed to happen to you. But along the way, somewhere in your life, you're going to love somebody, and you're going to love them a lot. And it may not work out. More than likely, you're going to go through more situations where it doesn't work out than the big one where it works out for a lifetime. Because most of us are looking for a situation where it's going to work out for the lifetime, for the long haul, forever. So all of a sudden, the sweetie that you had, the person that you never thought that you would fall in love with from the beginning, the person that you was only okay with, you was just messing around with and seeing until something better came along, and now you start to depend on them. You realize how nice they are. Not only that, but they got themselves together. You got used to them, and they start looking kind of good to you. I never noticed how handsome you were. I never noticed how pretty, beautiful you were. I never noticed how much you brought to the table. This shit is real. This shit is live. And something happens to where y'all have irreconcilable differences, or they cheat on you, or whatever the case may be. And let's say it's a situation where you never thought that they would cheat on you because you thought that you were higher than them. You thought that you were more beautiful than they were. You thought that you were more handsome. You had more money. You had more going on. You brought more to the table. So you're like, why would they cheat on me? I'm the catch. I'm the prize. I'm the look here. I'm the good look here. Well, your heart don't give a fuck about all of that. Guess what your heart does? Your heart likes to get comfortable. It looks for a nice, comfortable situation. Something with a nice pillow in it. You know what I'm saying? Your heart be looking for something like yeah. Your heart be looking for somewhere where you can rest easy. You know what I'm saying? Your heart be looking for somewhere where you can be like, yes. That's what your heart is looking for. Your heart is looking for somewhere where it can get comfortable. And then when it gets comfortable, it wants to stay that way. So when you obliterate that whole situation and you blow it up, and now your heart has to take its concentration off of this place that was nice and comfy. What is that, velvet? When it has to take its concentration off of that, and now it has to start all over, straight from a hard feeling ground, a hard surface floor. It has to do all of that. So not only do you have to let go of the nice, comfortable situation that you had going on, now you have to start from a place of uncertainty, unsurety, a place of confusion, a place of, now you got to go back out there and start dating and shit and all of that kind of shit. Why do you think motherfuckers stay with people for way longer than the toxic relationship should have ever stayed? Because they don't want to start all over. But before, you couldn't relate to none of this shit because it didn't apply to you. It didn't apply to you. Now you done got your heart broke. Now when you was telling everybody else, yo, if somebody cheated on me, I would definitely drop them like a bad habit. I don't go, you got one time to do this, that, and the third. And now you done found out that somebody cheated on you multiple times and your ass ain't going nowhere. Why? Because you in love. You ain't just dick whip. You dick whip, you pussy whip. You are your nose open as fuck. You running around here like, God damn, how I get this way? I'm looking like a eureka. I'm looking like you looking like a straight Eureka vacuum cleaner right now. No, fuck this. My nose so open. It's a Kirby. You know the Kirby. You know what I mean? The old Kirby and shit. When you take off the front of you take off the front of the motherfucking vacuum cleaner in order to clean the head of the shit. You know, clean the brushes on the vacuum cleaner, change the belt and all of that shit. Your nose open like a Kirby, son. Your nose open like a Kirby, son. And you ain't in a position where you could even think about walking away. But you was talking all of that shit to your mama and your daddy and your brothers and your sisters and your aunties and your uncles and your cousins and your friends, next door neighbors, kids that you knew from school. And now you the one looking like a fool. Ooh. None of it was real. None of it was real until it happened to you. None of it was real, son. It wasn't real. You was getting, it wasn't real. You was getting, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't real to you, son. Yeah, it wasn't real. That shit wasn't real, son. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't real. That shit wasn't real. Now it's real to you. Now it's real to you. Annette Davis, the number one. Annette Davis, the number one. Annette Davis, the number one. Thanks for coming through. We about to have a little fun. And my girl, the beauty I could not see, Cherry. The beauty I could not see, Cherry. You started to become a regular listener. I feel good about that. That's what's up. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate me some you. Yes, I do. Okay. So Jones says, I always hear people say we going to be friends for life. I've been friends in contact with a couple of people for 20 years and we not related. That's what's up. I hear that. Beauty I could not see. Sherry says, we'll say the 3 Ds, the death of a loved one, divorce and depression. People always have a lot to say. Good. Definitely. All right, what we got? No, it says some forms of PTSD will bite you in the back just when you thought it was safe. Smurfly. Word. So Jones says, if 2 people can go from rich to poor and said, I didn't sign up for this. Carol Chambers says, off topic, I like the sneakers. Oh, you like my Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Anyway, appreciate it on the real. Anyway, getting your heart broken. One of those things that you might speak on when it happens to other people, but then when it happens to you, it's a whole different situation. You may not have shown any sympathy, any empathy, any relatability, any type of affection for somebody that was going through that shit. You was talking all of this shit like stand up like a man, be a woman about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I mean, I got you. Nah, there's a time for fire and then there's a time for water. See, fire is when you fight back. That's when you have big, grandiose ideas. That's when you are vital and you're vibrant and you're virile. That's the fire. That's good. That's good for inspirational purposes, getting people motivated and all of that. But there's a time for that. There's a time also for water. Water is the emotion because it flows. We're talking about the flow of emotions. There's a time for that too. And when you put fire where water is needed, people gonna be looking at you like, no, man. Listen. I need help right now. Right now, I need help. I don't need motivation. I don't want to be with somebody else. I want to be with who I'm with. I want to be with who I just lost. I want to get back that old thing. And you steady like, nah, I'm telling you, fuck that motherfucker, fuck that bitch, man. I'm telling you, man, fuck that bitch. I ain't never like her anyway and shit. You know what I mean? You gonna let her play you and shit? You all sad and shit? That'll make a person that's looking for water direct that fire towards you. If you fuck around, get fucked up. Like, yo, Doug, you talking about my wife? You call my wife a bitch? Mom, I'm just saying, man, you know, I'm just, no, what the fuck is you talking about? We not divorced, we separated. Like nigga, you gotta watch your fucking mouth. Now we not doing that. So yeah, don't put fire where water is needed. Don't put fire where water is needed. And a lot of times when we fail to empathize, sympathize, and relate, we put the fire where the water is needed. Nah. Okay. My girl, Charlene Curry. Charlene Curry. What's going on, Charlene? How you feeling, Charlene? Good to see me, some you. Thanks for coming on through. You know, I always feel a whole lot better when I see you. Word. So we're talking about not when it's not real to you until it happens to you. When it's not real to you until it happens to you. Y'all know anybody like that? Have you ever been like that? I know I've been like that on occasion. I know when I was younger, I was like that. I didn't understand how deep people's emotions could be. I didn't. But you know, you get slapped up, punched and fucked up a couple of times. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, I mean, you know, y'all can rest on that a little bit. Let's keep it moving though. You know, right now is one of those times when a lot of people have lost their job. And you know, some people have worked on their jobs for double-digit years. Some people have worked on their jobs for 20 years. Some people for 30 years or more, doing the same thing, knowing the same people, watching people come and go and all of that kind of stuff. And they have been the mainstay. And times like now is when people are seeing what it's like to lose a job. Now, maybe because they've been able to hold a job so long, and maybe because they have held a job for so long, even when other people got laid off, even when other people got fired, even when other people got downsized, they thought that they were untouchable because they had a skill that they brought to the table that they didn't think that anybody else could do. They were skilled in an area. I've heard people say it, not at this time, but I remember in jobs that I had before. Well, you know, like I'm in a position where they really can't fire me because I know how to do something that's essential to this operation. And I kind of got it like that. And those were the motherfuckers that got fired. I said, those were the motherfuckers that got fired. I remember this dude said it and he got fired. I was like, God damn, I'm so inspired. And he was a good dude. He was a good dude. He was a good dude, white dude. You know what I'm saying? And I knew he was all of that on his job. I knew he was all of that. But guess what? Somebody somewhere thought differently. Now they brought him back as an independent contractor, a subcontractor. You know, and you know when businesses let you go, but they bring you back as a subcontractor, they don't have to pay any of those entitlements. No insurance, no pension, none of that shit. You know what I mean? You may actually make more money salary-wise than you were making when you were working for the company. But now you are essentially a temp worker. And that's a blow to your ego. Now you may not have been able to relate to that shit while everybody else was getting fired, when you were seeing people getting ushered out of the business. I mean, yeah. When you saw people getting escorted, you know what I mean? Cussing like, I don't believe y'all did this shit to me after all these fucking years I gave y'all shit. Just some bullshit. Why can't I just go to my desk and get my stuff? Why can't I clean my desk out by myself? I don't need nobody to do that shit for me. You know what I'm saying? Shit, yeah, I'm gonna take all my shit. I'm taking all my shit. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here. You know, this bullshit, motherfucker. You know? Yeah, you was watching everybody do that, and you wondering why they acting all out of pocket, and why they acting all, you know, why they getting like that. You know, they jobs come, jobs go, ain't no big deal. Or maybe you felt like, well, if they would have been a better worker, if they'd have went to school longer, if they would have hung around the right people, if they would have tried to move up, if they would have done whatever the fuck that you think that they didn't do that got them fired, you didn't empathize with them. But now look at you. Look at you. Oh, look at you. Gotta go online to apply for some unemployment. Well, how much money did you have saved? Because, you know, all of those years you was working, I know that you had mad dough saved now, didn't you? Oh, you ain't really had that much saved. So you make $2,000 a week, but you barely had 10,000 saved. So you make 2,000 a week. That's 8,000 a month, and you only had less than $10,000 saved. So more than likely, if you made $8,000 a month, take home, you probably had a lifestyle that probably was probably up to at the least 7,000. He's probably living a lifestyle where your bills ran you about 7K. You had 1K left, and you barely was saving that. So by the looks of things, your head is only going to be above water for about 2 months, if that. You got your last check, and they gave you a payout. Maybe they gave you a little severance and all of that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is now you have to make some decisions about your future, your financial future. You got kids in private school. You got a wife or spouse, maybe some side chicks on the side that you know what I mean. I got to make sure my wife is straight, but my girlfriend, I got to make sure she need chicken and beer money. I go over there and get some chicken and beer on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? She had a water drawn for me. She had my bath ready for when I come over, to break her off on Friday night. This family, the family and the sub-family is suffering because my side chick got kids too. Mr. Omar popular at the crib. I come through. I make sure that the Mr. Softy man get held down. Good humor, all that old good shit. I'm doing Christmases, back to school, you know what I mean? Holidays, Easter, and all that. I'm doing all that shit. All of that shit that came to a screeching halt. Plus, I got a wife. Fuck. Yeah. But you ain't have nothing good to say about everybody that was getting fired. And then David says, you've been talking about a lot of things that I've been going through. Oh, well, you know how it is. And that, you know what I'm saying? Because I got that little, pastor type shit in me. I'm ordained to, to go into people's hearts and their minds and shit. And into they living rooms and, live the experiences that they've been living. I was ordained by that, but the good Lord, all praise is due to Allah. He makes sure that I'm just saying, this is just shit that everybody goes through. For real. And that this is just shit that everybody goes through. We're in the middle of this pandemic. This shit real. A lot of people lost jobs. We want to talk so much about how some people are making more money on unemployment right now, or in the past few months than they was making at their job. And we looking at them, certain people talking about how I wish I was home like that, making that kind of money. They stealing. They talking about they can't come back to work because they want to collect this unemployment. I'm like, do you understand what's happening, son? Like, I could be hating on them too. But the reason I'm not hating on them? I'm not hating on them because if you making more money on your unemployment with the stimulus money than you were on your job, that means your job was fucked up. You wasn't making enough. So now you live in this little lifestyle on unemployment. So when the unemployment go back to being regular unemployment, now you fucked up because you in the 4 months that you've been collecting this unemployment, you done stepped up your lifestyle. You was doing the same shit instead of banking some money, preparing for another bad moment or whatever. You got complacent, living a lifestyle that was more than what you was living when you was working full time. You know what kind of money you have to be making to quit your job to collect unemployment? You wasn't doing well. That's directly indicative of your fucked up situation. So no, I ain't gonna hate on nobody getting that money from the government. They're gonna wind up having to pay it back anyway. Watch. That's why I didn't accept the $1,200. Fuck that $1,200. Nah, I'm good. I'm lucky that I can say that I can stare down the barrel of $1,200 and be like, nah, I'm good. I'm all right. I want it, but I don't need it. I can make it without it. But I know at any moment it could be me. It could be me. So that shit is real. That shit is real. But to a lot of people, it's not real. Poverty is not real for them. That's why when I listen to a lot of these Republicans and I hear them talk, this is the only real beef I have against Republicans. I don't have no beef with the Republican Party, except for they fail to empathize with real people way too often. They fail to empathize, sympathize, and relate to people who aren't rich, who don't come from money, who haven't been trained, who haven't been conditioned in that way to have different streams of income and all of that. They don't get it. They don't get it. But they created a situation where the situation has been created to where, of course, everybody is not going to be getting money out here. That's the system y'all created, a class system. But y'all want to act like the lower class doesn't exist, or like they can't be helped, or like you don't care. And that's the only beef that I have. I mean, that other shit they be talking about, I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, like that if you don't work, you don't eat. I don't have no problem with that shit. Each and every last one of y'all have said that shit to somebody, whether it was a child of yours that act like they was entitled, or whether it was somebody that was trying to mooch and sponge all off of you. You done said it. Yo, you don't work, you don't eat. You ain't just gonna, I ain't no money tree. You ain't just gonna shake me. That's what your mama used to say. That's what my mom used to say all the time. You think I'm a money tree, you just come and shake the tree. You think money grow on trees? It don't. But yeah, losing a job and you don't have no empathy until you lose your job. Now you screaming, help, 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 help. Somebody do something for me. I've done so much for everybody else. And you ain't really did shit for anybody else. You gave everybody else the little scraps that wouldn't hurt you. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, because any help is good help. But you wasn't doing it from the heart. You was doing it from a place of pride. Like, yeah, you ain't got shit and I got a lot. So throw you a little something, you make me look good. Now I look like I'm altruistic and shit. Yeah, I just like to help people. Fuck out of here. Your ego was all tied up in that shit. Now look at you. Look at you. You know, because if your ego wasn't all tied up in that shit, you wouldn't be screaming, please, please help me. I've done so much for you. You know, why can't you do something for me? You wouldn't be saying that if your ego was never tied up into it. All right. Hold on. Valerie, she says, I suffered PTSD since I was a child, and people are always surprised when I talk about it. You don't look like someone with PTSD. You know what, Val, on some real shit, and not to devalue or undervalue what you're talking about, but every last Black person suffers from PTSD. You know why? Because we are exposed to a lifestyle and a life and conditions that we never forget. We never forget what we didn't have growing up and what other people around us didn't have. We never forget seeing domestic violence, mama against daddy, or somebody, or you know, families breaking up around the way, or never being together, or such and such, never really knowing who their father is, or seeing people get murdered and hurt, stabbed, shot, and all of that kind of shit. You know, hood stories. You know, growing up being desensitized to violence. And some of us, many of us, most of us aren't even desensitized to it. We still hate it. I know for a fact that I'm desensitized to violence. I know it. I've witnessed too much death. I've never been a part of a gang. I never hung around nobody or any type of, I never been involved in none of that shit. I never got into a fight with anybody who didn't try to fight me first. I've never been in any of those types of situations. But I sure have seen it. I sure have been next to it. I sure have I've been in a club where a motherfucker right over there, 6 feet away from me, got shot in the head. His body dropped, boom. Blood run out of his head like a flood. Everybody screaming and running and shit. We don't even see who the gunman is. We probably beat the gunman running out of that motherfucker. You don't forget that kind of shit. You don't forget it. We all have PTSD. The black experience coming from slavery. We are inherit. We inherit PTSD from our ancestors. It's all in our blood and our DNA. It's inescapable. So shout out to you for recognizing it, recognizing that you need help, because most of us are conditioned to say that we don't need help, that we can just deal with it. We in the struggle. We in the struggle. Black people are so used to poverty and lack of education. We think that that's just the way it's supposed to be. And we hold on to thinking that that's the way it's supposed to be until we finally escape that situation. And then we find ourselves wondering how the fuck we escaped, how we survived, and how many of us were able to thrive in those under those conditions, because it wasn't designed for you to thrive. It was designed to break you, kill you, undermine you, and make you complacent and submissive. And those are still not the words I'm looking for. I'm looking for well, submissive kind of is. Let's keep it moving. But yeah, y'all. Tonight on the Daily Go Get a Business Show on this Pretty Petty Tuesday, we are talking about, me and y'all, we are talking about when you can't relate, when you don't care about a situation until it happens to you. Until it happens to you. So y'all can call into this show. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. 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 319-527-6199, baby. What you talking about? Fuck is y'all niggas talking about? You can call into the show. 319-527-6199 is a totally uncensored show. You say it how you feel it. Bring your passion in any form of fashion. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak. And then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You can rock on and do the damn thing. All right. So Narcil says, as long as you punch someone else's clock, you are their property. Pretty much. You know, even if you don't consider yourself to be their property, if you don't want to look at it that way, which I can understand, you have to understand that, you know, the one with the money controls things. So we go on some of these jobs. Some of us go on some of these jobs, and we think that we can just make things the way we want them to be, and that we don't have to follow the rules and stuff like that. It doesn't work that way. You know, it doesn't work that way. You know, you are making the company a lot more money than they're paying you, but they'd be like, so what? We can find somebody else to do this. And they will. So, you know, to combat that in your mind, you have to look at it like, well, I'll find somebody else to pay me more. But you need to be one step ahead of them and think and and securing somebody that will pay you more and give you better work conditions than they are with you. Most of us don't do that. Don't do that. Girl Nikki is in the house. My girl Nikki, 1986. Nikki. What up? In my early teens and 20s, my empathy for my girlfriends in abusive relationships had a limit. It wasn't until I got into an abusive relationship of my own in my late 20s that changed it for me. Yeah, man. Seeing your girlfriends get their ass whooped. Seeing your male friends get dissed, sometimes beat up by their girlfriends, but definitely get berated on a regular basis. Getting cussed out all the time. Little dick, punk ass motherfucker, old scary ass nigga. You act like a little faggot. Emily says, oh, so you finally owning your craft? I said that about you before. I mean, a lot of people said it, but man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. As soon as I start, talking about, I know how to get all up inside of you, then you be like, look, this arrogant bastard. Y'all already think I'm arrogant as shit. Always calling me a big head. Yeah, my head big, but that's, you know what I mean? Shit, you can't lose weight in your head. Or can you? So Jones says going half on a $5 foot long. Shit is real out here, side. It's real. I mean, and then David says, I never ever experienced this level of loneliness in my life before, and it's a little crazy, a little scary. I'm sorry, man. My heart goes out to you, Annette Davis, the number one. Annette Davis, the number one. Emily says, okay. Carol says, hugs Annette. I mean, we always want to show love. Word up. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. But yeah, so and really, when you go too long dealing with people who don't have any empathy, any sympathy, they don't seem to be able to relate to anything that you're going through, then that builds more feelings of loneliness and isolation. It makes you start thinking that what you're going through is exclusive and nobody else is going through it and nobody else can understand. And you know what that leads to? That leads to depression. Because, when you're depressed, you're sad every day. But even more than the sadness, you don't believe that anybody can relate to you. You think that whatever you're going through is exclusive to your experience. Nobody else ever got hurt on this level before. Nobody ever felt the way you feel when everybody has gone through it. But people are handling it differently. Some people have received counseling. Some people are just keeping it on the low and suffering in silence like you are, or like you're training yourself to do. Nah, that's not the way to be. And that's not the way to go. And that's not the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially for our people, man. You ain't gonna find no black people who can't relate. Okay, even if you can find some black people who can't relate to poverty or financial struggle, you ain't gonna find none that can't relate to heartbreak, because everybody loves. Everybody loves. I would say that love is the one thing that separates human beings from animals, but I believe that animals love too. You see how dogs and you see how any pets that you have, you see how they act when they haven't seen you in a long time. It's like, yo, what's up? Let me rub up against you. You about to get some, you know what I'm saying? That's love right there. So, but one thing that human beings do have that animals don't have is reasoning. Reasoning is the thing that separates us from the animal kingdom, because we can reason and rationalize and work out our situations and our emotions and our experiences. To whereas even if we couldn't relate, even if we never saw it before, we can get into that. We can get into it. Animals aren't programmed that way. Lucky for them. You know what I mean? Human beings feel guilt. Animals don't necessarily feel guilt unless they are exposed to human beings who infuse guilt in them by conditioning them and training them. So a dog wouldn't feel bad about knocking over a lamp or chewing a shoe, unless he knows that his master doesn't like that shit and probably is going to take a newspaper and put that shit to ass. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel guilty because I know I'm going to get this newspaper to my ass. My dog ass getting whipped. You understand? Do y'all underdig? Make sure that y'all share this show, y'all. Make sure y'all share this show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Make sure that y'all push that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Don't be shy about hitting the like button. You got to put that thing down. Yo, push that shit down. And now. All right. Yes. So, you know, love is one of those things that everybody can relate to. You're going to get to a point at some point in your life where you're loving somebody more than you believe that they love you, or you're showing it more than somebody is showing it towards you, and it's going to be stressful for you. It's going to be stressful because there are certain situations that separate you from people that you want to be close to, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes it's your own fault. And that can really make you feel isolated. Carol Chamberlain says, I'm a sucker for a sob story, trying to get better at it, though. I know. That's why whenever I need money, Carol, I call you up and start crying like, yo, I want to be one of those $30 an hour septic niggas. Can you help me? I want to be a $30 an hour septic nigga. Oh, man. Stop fucking with y'all. Man, Ansel Jones says, the war movies I looked at differently after 2006. I bet. You start seeing what they didn't put in the movies. Like, yo, this shit, the movies are one thing. But seeing that shit in real life, you know what I mean? When a gun is in your hand, it feels a lot different than when you seeing the guns overhead with some, you like, yo, shoot him over there. And then don't let people walk up. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Carol says, I started seeing a therapist 3 years ago. Need to start going back now. Therapy is an ongoing thing. You know, like they tell us that we're supposed to receive therapy for a certain amount of time and then we're supposed to be better. But that's based on someone else's calculations. You know what I'm saying? Therapy is an ongoing thing. I'm a proponent of therapy for life in some form, but you can create your own therapy. All you have to do is talk to somebody and get somebody else to open up. Either get them to listen or get them to talk to you back. Because that's the hard part, getting somebody else to talk to you back. But you might be that secretive type of person that grew up in a family that didn't promote expressing yourself. So you might have grown up in a family where you couldn't cry. You know how hard it is when you really feeling bad, but you better not cry. You know what I mean? That's why I be telling parents all of that. Telling your kids, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. I know we laugh about that shit, but that's really not funny. Like, yo, I was already the fuck crying. What you mean you gonna give me something to cry about? Didn't you hear boo-hoo, boo-hoo, wah, wah? These tears are real. I'm not an actor. You know what I'm saying? No makeup didn't come in. Nobody put this water in my look. I'm crying already. I don't need nothing extra to cry about. It's only gonna make me cry longer. What's wrong with you, Mom? see a motherfucker over here crying. She talking about, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. And she's supposed to be raising me. I thought she was smart. Almost make me want to cry for you, mama. Make me want to. Valerie Green says homelessness is something that people never think can happen to them. Val, you are right as fuck. People do not believe that a situation could ever present itself where they would be out on the streets. And shout out to people who have the likelihood of that never happening, but it can happen. Because you know what? You never know when you might be in a situation where you don't want to live in a house. At any moment, when you leave your house, you could get into a terrible accident that gives you brain damage, and your brain damage makes you forget everything or devalue all of the things that you used to value, and you're just not the person that you need to be. And instead of being the go-getter that you used to be, now you just really seeing things a whole different way. Next thing you know, you are homeless. Now that's a different situation than if, let's say, a fire happened at your house and then you lost your job, and then the people that you used to look for to hold you down, died out of your life. You know what I mean? Like a trilogy of tragedy, or maybe even a quadruple tragedy or more. But yeah, homelessness. A lot of people speak on homelessness. They don't even realize that homelessness is about mental illness. 90 seconds. It's about mental illness. Most people that are out on the streets are out on the streets because they are mentally ill. They are. And when they closed most of or all of the mental hospitals where they used to house them, they basically cured that situation with medication. They cured the situation with medication. So everybody got medicated, and then they gave them subsidized housing and income so they could take care of themselves and be functional. And it worked for some, but you're still mentally ill. And some people say, yeah, they should have never closed those mental hospitals and stuff like that. But the problem with the mental hospitals was that they were havens for abuse. They were havens for abuse. And speaking of abuse, and speaking of havens for abuse, like mental hospitals, you never think that you could wind up in a crazy home. You never think that you could be 302. You never think that you could be gone on some schizophrenia shit, or on a depression that's so bad that leads to deeper mental illness than just classic or clinical classic or manic depressive. You don't think of things ever happening that way, but here's the thing. Most crazy people don't know that they're crazy. They think that they're normal, and everybody else just doesn't understand. You know what I mean? Like on some Kanye West shit, or some Donald Trump shit. For real. But it can happen to anybody. But when it doesn't happen to you, you probably talk shit about it. These homeless motherfuckers and shit. I don't see, they got shelters. Why wouldn't you just stay in a shelter? Well, God forbid you should ever find yourself in a situation where you are in a shelter. And you see how the system goes. And you see how you get cast aside. And you see how the people that you knew and that you thought was so much on your side and would never sell you out, you see how they sell you out. You have to experience that firsthand. But before then, you might be talking mad shit. Narcil says, yeah, my experience have shown me that not everyone is a part of the whole journey. Word up. Hold on, let me get to some more of y'all comments. I'm missing a lot of them. Let me see. No doubt in that. I got you. Valerie says, that's why I come here for stimulating conversation, positive reinforcement, not with people who just want to see me down. Word up. It says it's that isolation. It's that nobody cares. Nobody has ever been through this. That's what makes depression out of control. And unfortunately, that's the shit that leads people to commit suicide. They figure, I don't fucking matter in this world. You know, like God has failed me. He has made me in a way that he hasn't made anybody else. And I'm the only one going through this shit. And it's not even halfway true. So we got to talk to each other. We all we got. That's why I don't understand black people. We are all the fuck that we have. No, so it says mortality checks tend to push depression in a corner where one sees who and what is important. Word up. Mortality checks. Wow. Not reality checks. Mortality checks. Girl Nikki says, Carol, I haven't seen my therapist in a little over a year. I felt like she and I had outgrown one another. Looking for a new one now. Ideally, I'd like a black woman. Girl Nikki also says, Talkspace is an online therapy site, and within the next few months, there will be a black online therapy service. Can't think of the name. That's good stuff. Valley says, I have a therapist and I go to a woman's group. I love it. And it says, I got to stop telling people I'm doing well when I'm not. Well, you are doing well as far as that how you doing question is concerned. But they're just deeper things going on. But you're not alone. On some Michael Jackson shit, you are not alone. Other niggas too. Carol Chambers said, I know I stopped going thinking I was good. You look good when I seen you. I ain't seen no signs of depression. You know, people who depressed, you know, they normally dress funny with they little, I'm really going through some real depression, you know, that little button that they wear. I'm really going through something. You know, hi, my name is clinically depressed. Carol says, Omar, the trauma we experienced as kids, man, listen, you can't unsee what you saw. You can't unlive what you've lived. You can't unhear what you heard. You know how it is when you really, really like somebody, love somebody, and thought somebody was really in your corner, and you overhear a conversation where you hear them dissing you. You ever had, you ever had that shit happening? Your best friend, your ace boon coon or whatever, and you overhear a conversation where they are talking candidly and freely about you in a bad way, and it wasn't an act. You don't forget that shit. It could be the thing that it could turn that whole relationship around. You may not stop being friends with that person, but you'll never forget how they candidly express themselves about you. Yeah. Girl Nikki talking about, Emily, people tell me I should be a therapist all the time. Strangers come up to me on the street all the time. I don't know about a therapist. You should be a fucking philanthropist, though. God forbid that girl Nikki should ever, make millions of dollars. Because you can best believe she only going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars. She going to get that money away. She's a very good person. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo. She gonna be one of the first to give. Wait a minute. There's trouble. You know how Batman has the bat signal? Girl, Nikki got the $ signal. I'm not saying that, she'll, let people play her for her money. It's not that situation, but she is very empathetic to people's struggle. Like, yo, you don't have to ask. I'm here. Like, Nick, that's your check for the. You got a kid. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Just let me know how everything turned out. You all right? Yeah, I'm putting you on blast. I don't give a fuck. All right. Okay. Valerie Green says, working in the shelter, mothers, they drop their 18-year-old sons off because they can't handle them. Girl, Nikki says. Emily says, yes, Nikki, the same here. I say, no way. But be thinking, can I, should I? Girl, Nikki says, we got to allow ourselves to feel what we feel and give ourselves grace, especially in this day and time. Always ask for help when needed. Just going through life, existing and being isn't healthy. Hey, yo, girl, Nikki, that don't say life. That say like. I'm an asshole. I mean, I'm an asshole. That's me. I'm an asshole. You can't empathize with being an asshole? That's on you. Ansil says, still waters run deep means something to me now. Word. Beauty. I cannot see. Cherry says, black people don't look like what they've been through. Man, listen. Woo! Woo! Carol Taylor says, you expected me to be looking cray, Omar? Nope. Not at all. But you could at least worn the button. I mean, holla at a nigga. Let me know what's going on. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill, says, just like an alcoholic needs a meeting, surrounding ourselves with like-minded people will determine which path to stay on. Yeah, because, Alcohol Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, all that stuff, it's nothing but therapy. It's group therapy. That's all it is. People with similar experience or an experience in common with each other, and they help each other from slipping back down that road of dependence. Of drug dependence. That's all. It's therapy. That's all it is. They talk about things that happen on a every day. Listen, man, remember, y'all, last year, I had to go to outpatient alcohol counseling. I was pissed to get my license back straight. I had to go to outpatient, I'm like, look, I ain't drunk since 2012. They was like, you ain't pay that, you got to go through this program, though. You owe the state of Delaware. You owe them 6 months. Well, 16 weeks, which is really only 4 months. But that's if you go every week. Anyway, but yeah, it was therapy. And the crazy part about it was, even though I was so pissed off with having to do it after I've already done all of that shit, it was actually a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing in disguise. It was crazy because it was counseling. It was therapy. And I like that shit. Shit. I was my therapist, a little white lady, little white girl. She was calling me her co-therapist. It was me and her. It was crazy. She's like, Milton, so would you done? Girl, Nikki said, shaking my motherfucking head. Just couldn't let me live, huh? I let you live, but I'm an asshole. So you gotta live with this shit. You want to live with an asshole? I'm your man. And then David says, the only problem I have is people who tell you that they're there for you and ain't there. Totally understandable. You need you need people who are consistent. You need people who can be relied on, especially if you're a reliable person. When you're a reliable person, you need other people that are reliable also. But you ever notice that it doesn't seem to ever work out that way? So the people who are reliable, who get other people to be reliable, they have to be a little tyrannical about it. They got to be tyrants. They got to be dogged about it. They got to be all up in your face all the time. Like, you're going to be reliable around this motherfucker because I'm going to make you. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be so reliable at making you be reliable that we just going to be reliable together and mad at each other. You weren't reliable today. You were not reliable today. You were not you. You were not reliable. For shame. For shame. For shame. For shame. Narcil says, I had to take an 8-hour remedial course before getting my license again. Yo, man. Yo, when you lose your license through DUI, that shit is so hard to get back. Motherfuckers don't understand. And yo, that's what I didn't understand. Motherfuckers was talking about DUI and getting their license back and all that kind of shit. I'm like, I don't know. When it happened to me, it was like, yo, this shit takes forever. You lose your license like this, but getting that shit back, years. I lost my driver's license in 2010. I didn't get this shit back to 2019. I got a partial driver's license in 2017, but I didn't get back to being a regular driver until 2019. Right around now. It happens. It happens. It happens. But yeah. So, when something is not real to you until it happens directly to you or to somebody close to you. And we didn't even really get into that. And we might have to just let that go. But, like, you might not have anything bad to say or whatever. You say whatever about, let's say such and such was upset. Somebody that you knew was upset because their little girl, 18 years old, was seeing somebody, I don't know, upper 30s, 40 years old. Like, yo, that shit ain't right. And you was thinking like, well, she legal. You know what I mean? Ain't no big deal, blah, 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 blah. But then your little girl, you got a daughter. And they get put in that situation. And it's not even half of the severity of the situation. Your little 16, 17-year-old daughter is running around here, sneaking around here with a 22-year-old man. It's only, somewhere between 4 or 6 years older. But to you, you're like, no, he's a grown man. My baby girl, shoot, he a young man in college and shit, just graduating college. He gonna want to fuck. He gonna want to fuck my little 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old daughter. Nah, it's unacceptable. Yeah, but when such and such was talking about this 40-year-old messing around with her 20-year-old, you said, yeah, well, ain't no big deal. But now it's you. Yeah, but my situation was different because my daughter is not of age yet. It don't fucking matter, dog. It don't really matter. Yeah, but your daughter may not be of age all the way. She may be underage, but at the same time, he only 4 to 6 years older than her. Instead of 20 years older, 18 years older. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it was no big deal until it happened to you. Now you want to be like, nah, yeah, I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready, file statutory rape charges. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Valerie Green says, after my husband passed away, everything changed and I had to depend on me. Dealing with a terminally ill relative or yourself being terminally ill. Maybe cancer wasn't real to you. COVID-19 is very false to a lot. A lot of people to this day still believe that there's no COVID-19. There's no coronavirus. Because somehow, some way, they have not known anybody who got it. Somehow. Let them the fuck get it, though. Okay. Norris Hill says, I got mine back last year, too. Damn, brother. That's why you my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. I said my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. That's crazy. Girl Nikki says, see? And that's why, as of late, my ass just listens and not comment. Listen, another Quaalude, you're going to love me again. There are some times with the fucking conversation, it's not going to warrant you just sitting in the background not saying nothing. But you got to be really strong and not have any really feelings for you to just sit in the background. And from what I know, chica, that is not you. That is not you. You're not going to be able to just chill in the background. You're just listening, escuchando conversaciones. No. You're going to need to get in there. People need the help. Ayuda to personas. Ayuda. That means help. Ayúdate. Let's do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here, son. Hey, yo, son. Hey, yo, word, mother, for real. Yo, forgive me, girl, Nikki. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 18th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They are SPECIAL. They are number one out the box. Roxy Arnell turning 43 years old today, and Stella Greer. Happy birthday to you, Stella! And Keisha Brown turning 26 years old today, and my man Eric Michael Gregory turning 48 years old today, and Hez Enriquez turning 33 years old today, and Omar McIntyre, that is his name, turning 40 years old today. But this Omar McIntyre is from Jamaica, but that is his name, straight up and down. Turning 40 years old today. Welcome to the 40-40 Club, you 1980, baby. Yo, y'all blind, crippled, crazy. Or should I say 1980, baby? I love you, brother, blind, crippled, crazy. Word up. Do you think the damn thing, Omar, without the r. And also Annette Jones turning 61 years old today. And Latanya Somerville turning 48 years old today. And Lavarnia Chef Mitchell, he's a chef. His name is Lavarnia. Happy birthday to you. And last but not least, my girl go-getter Angela Poole. Angie Poole. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious. Hold up. And Emily says, my niece, Shadira, and nephew, Phelim, celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to y'all. Good looking out. Anyone else who shared this birthday on this glorious August 18th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally, all of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing, to do your thing. Y'all represent the queens and kings, to do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go for yours, and remember, man, listen. You can talk all the shit about anything that you don't know or can't relate to or never really thought would apply to you, but you never know what's going to happen in your life experience. You could encounter all of the things that you've been sweeping under the rug, that you've been acting like don't exist, that you've been pretending aren't important, or that you've been turning your nose up against because you think, turning your nose up at because you feel like it can only happen to a certain class of people or certain type of people, or people who didn't do this or didn't do that, and people who didn't go to school, didn't get a high school diploma, people who didn't go to college, they didn't get no training, they didn't hang around with nobody, they spent their life in jail, and they was on drugs, they didn't do nothing, they hung around having babies all day, and babies out, yeah. You can't relate to none of them situations, right? Until it comes to visit you, until you're staring right down at down the barrel of an experience that you've been trying to avoid your whole goddamn life. But it's going to be your ride, and everything is going to be your ride. Live your life, and everything is going to be your ride, and everything is going to be your right. Experience yours, and everything is going to be your ride, and everything is going to be your right. Take your time now, and everything is going to be your right until it happens. Then it all goes down. What you know, Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed listening to this show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. And I really did enjoy broadcasting it tonight. And I want y'all to have a great day, spectacular day, night. And I want it to be terrific. So y'all do the damn thing. Will you do the damn thing? I hope you're well, queens and kings. I hope you're well, queens and kings. All right, y'all. So, make sure y'all hit that like button on y'all way out. If you haven't already hit the like button, hit the like button. And if you haven't shared the show, make sure you share the show. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. No, we won't. Nah, son. Nah. So let's get on up out of here. Charlene Curry says, I know your name is Milton. Well, it's like it's no big deal. You'll never know that unless you work with me. That'll never be a name that you call me. Unless you're trying to be smart. I know how that be too. So anyway, my mama don't call me that. But I'm just saying. All right, well, Blog Talk, let me get on up out of here. Love is love.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
And yo. It's not a slip. I've said it on the show before. Remember the show where the dude called me on the phone and he asked, your name is your name. It's not like you played any part in that. Like there's some things that you can waste your time being ashamed of, but yeah. Yo, I love y'all to death, man. Resuscitate y'all, love y'all back to life. Peace, y'all. Yeah.